Have you ever sketched a building and it just doesn't look quite right? The walls are slightly leaning or it looks a bit flat? Well, it might not be your ability to draw, it might be perspective. Well, using this Rustic Cottage here, I'm going to show you one of the most important tools in urban sketching. So 2-point perspective is where we're standing on the corner of a building and we're not facing directly on one of the faces. And both of those sides are tapering off towards the distance. Instead of the horizontal lines staying horizontal, they angle away to a point on either side, which actually gives us that illusion of depth. But the good news is you don't need to draw construction like this on a huge piece of paper. So first of all, I find that closest edge to the viewer. So it's usually that middle edge there of the building. And then I know that the other faces, either side of that edge, taper away to a vanishing point. So the outside edges there have to be smaller than that inside edge that's closest to you. And that will give you the illusion of depth. Another important rule is that all of the vertical lines stay perfectly vertical in 2-point perspective. That includes the main outlines and all the detail. So all the vertical lines of the windows and the doors, they all have to stay perfectly vertical. It's also interesting to note that once we have that main outline in perspective, it really helps with the details inside the building. The horizontal lines fan out evenly between the very bottom and the top. And where the lines are flat, that's actually where the eye line is. So where the height of the viewer's eyes or the height of the camera. So that means when we're drawing the top of the door frame there or the windows near the door, we know that the horizontal lines are quite flat. But as we go up, they get more and more angled, but the most angled is the very top roof line. So that's the main rules I use when I'm sketching because I don't want to draw a big engineering drawing. I just want to keep it very simple. Okay, let's get on to sketching. So the closest edge here, you're going to put right in the middle here. So put 2 dots on your page. So that's where the eye line is, closer to the bottom. And then let's draw a flat line. You can use a ruler. Now, I've got that closest edge. We want to see how far that is away. I'm going to measure the width and compare it to the height. So when I measured that width and compared it to the height, it was a little bit lower than the top. So probably about there. And from the tip to where I slide my finger, place the tip on there, and that's how far it comes out. So if that is horizontal, it's flat there, this point should be higher. So perfectly vertical there. But once again, now this point is going down to the point, so they meet somewhere. It's to be down like that. Okay, so now I have this face. That's the closest bit, that's the furthest away bit, so it's smaller. Let's outline that. Connect those dots there. Nice angle at the top. I'm trying to add a few little wobbles of interest to make it very loose. If I look at the reference, I can see that that first section of pots that cover that edge of the building goes about 2/3 across. So let's put 2 dots. So very, very roughly, let's outline these shapes. But I'm just getting an impression, just outlining the basic shape of all those complex objects. So we have that first face. Let's do the second face. And it has to taper. This section has to be smaller. Once again, I'll compare that width to the height. So I'll grab that width with my fingers and I'm turning. It's a little bit more than halfway. So between these two, I'd say halfway is about there. If it's a little bit more, it might be to here. Measure with my pen again. It has to be angling up. Vertical line here like that. And have a nice angle. Let's go around there. So I'll start the side. Bits and bobs around the side here. There's a table. Random lines like little clouds going around the plants. So we want to find the point. So usually I just guess I'd go halfway and up. Technically I think it'd be a little bit further away from us. So because of perspective, think about that angle. But let's get the other side here of the roof. And about halfway, a little bit to the right, we go up. Because these angles are the same. They all go to the vanishing point over there. Go down to that point. Connect those two. Now this flat point there would still angle because it's going this way, a little bit like that. Let's add the chimneys. Now remember, vertical lines vertical. Putting a line there and then up from here, slightly off center and up is higher. Perfectly vertical, follow this. So have one this way, follows these ones, cylinders. So have 3, and go down there. 2 little chimneys there. So you've got the main structure of the building. Now let's do some of the details on the building. On halfway, this detail here, in between those 2 points. So it's quite close to the eye line here, so here would be quite flat, this horizontal line. Maybe angling slightly down, and then the width of the door, half the door come across. So now I've got 4 dots. These horizontal lines, they're just close to the eye line, so they're quite flat. And the vertical lines, as always, are vertical. And so we have another rectangle and one there. Let's outline that window. Bring them in just a little bit so there's a gap between them. And that is the main shape. So I'm going to go through and add detail now from the top down. Stick out there and there, following the same angles. I like how wobbly they get. I want to focus on leaving a bit of frame on the top on the right, and then a ledge on the bottom, so you can see inside the window frame there, from this, looking in this way. We can go down the middle, bracket here, hanging pot. So I decided to just leave those stones 4 strokes of paint instead of having to outline each one. I've got a table here, but this is where we can just be super loose. Okay, we've got the pot there, we've got another pot under the windows and a bench. So we have some grass, clover, and then a few cobblestones. We'll show the depth by adding bigger ones here. Some smaller ones. Nicely framed. Now we can do watercolor. I'll start the watercolor with a round 12 brush, and I'm using cerulean blue, going right across. See how quick that was? Going roughly around these chimneys. So I'm going to use sap green, like that. Once again, not exactly in the lines, just kind of just around there. I'm going to add my cooler green, my viridian green, to change the color. Go around these plants. Get out my round 10. Let's put some Payne's grey. We'll do the roof. Right across there. And the right. So I've got burnt sienna, cadmium red, and Payne's grey. Also there are some pots here, so 1, 2, darker Payne's grey. Do this gutter on here. Just probably adding it in the top ones. I'm going to add some cadmium red. Ball here. Here where the flowers are. Now I'll let that dry and I'll do the walls. And this wall here has a warm feel to it. The closest colour I can see here is yellow ochre. Around all the windows. Just a few little strokes like that. Now this part of the wall. So we'll do the big ones first. Now make sure these are not perfectly the same, each one. But I want that random feel going down. Now just fit them in around those ones. Bigger one here. It's not very dark, not as dark as these ones, so that they don't get overpowered. So it's important to have different colours. So going over some of the cobblestones. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. Now we're going to do shadows. Both sides here, either side of this middle point, are in the light. So to make something look like it's three-dimensional, you usually have one in shadow and one in light. But a lot of artists you'll see will actually change the lighting. So I'm going to push the sun across to the right. So I'll start with ultramarine, and then always add a tiny bit of permanent rose to just take that coldness out. So underneath this gutter here, we have to draw a nice shadow there. So inside the window and on the right side. Now I'm going to add shadow on the left side of this chimney, behind in here. So I'm going to add some shadow just around those details. But as we go up here, because it's coming closer to the sun, maybe this is a little bit warmer here. So I'm going to add more permanent rose. Purple as we go up here. Depth there because we can see the light hitting this face, but there's a bit of shadow on the side. I'm going to let that dry. Before we do highlights, just add a little bit more texture. So just in there, little bits for texture. I have my Uniball Signo white pen. Would be a great place to put a white line. Frames here that we painted over. Little glints on a stonework of white. Maybe some of the edges. So that's my final result. Sketching a building like this, a rustic cottage using 2-point perspective. Keeping that line that's closest to us the longest. These are the shortest there. And we taper off all the lines to vanishing points on the sides. So the full version of this tutorial, that's over on my Patreon membership, which is easier to follow, a lot less cuts in there, and you get the full res reference and template. If you're a beginner with sketching buildings, I have a beginner's course which will help you with all the basics and go through all the different perspective views. And I've got a collection of tutorials there, a lot of building tutorials that you can do there to practice your building sketching. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.